You're watching the Lakers Report by Chat Sports. I am Harrison Graham, and we got a lot of big stuff to get into on today's video because we have some huge coaching news, some finalists that have been named. That's coming up. Stay tuned for that. Also, could Zach LaVine land in Los Angeles and join the Lake Show? We'll explore that as well. And do Talen Horton-Tucker and Kendrick Nunn have any trade value? All that and more is coming up on today's show. So go ahead and subscribe. Trying to get to 45,000 subs on the channel as soon as possible. So hit that big red button and help us get there. Big news on the coaching front for Los Angeles. Adrian Wojnarowski just a little bit ago said, quote, Milwaukee Bucks assistant Darvin Ham and former Trailblazers coach Terry Stotts are among the candidates who have advanced to the final round of interviews for the Lakers coaching job, sources tell ESPN. Shams Charania added this: finalists for the coaching job, Darvin Ham, Kenny Atkinson, and Terry Stotts. The next stage of interviews are expected to take place in person in Los Angeles. This is why, again, you subscribe, because we've been all over the coaching search as soon as these stories started to drop. So subscribe, go check out some of our other videos as we've had you guys up to date throughout the coaching search. All right, let's go one by one here. Terry Stotts, he of course spent a lot of time with the Portland Trailblazers, second in franchise history with 402 wins there. He picked Damian Lillard as his first draft pick as the head coach. That's worked out pretty well. Made the playoffs 8 out of 9 years. Only got to the conference finals once, and I think that's kind of a thing that could hold him back as a finalist. Never made the finals. Now, obviously, the West has been very, very tough, but his teams were good. They never could get over the hump. Now, I think part of that's how they were built. C.J. McCollum and Damian Lillard were explosive offensively, but not a backcourt built to win deep into the playoffs because neither of them are good defenders. So a good coach. I think he's done a lot of good things. He was an assistant under Rick Carlisle in Dallas when they won a championship in 2011, so he's tasted that championship success. Hasn't proven it as a head coach, however. Darvin Ham, he would be a first-time head coach. He was an assistant with the Lakers about a decade ago from 2011 to 13, also an assistant with the Hawks for 6 seasons, and he's been with the Bucks the past 4, and of course Milwaukee has reached the pinnacle in that stretch. Won a championship last year. Might have won one again this year had Chris Middleton not gotten hurt, but we will never know. I kind of like this idea. Is it a risk because Darvin Ham's never been a head coach? Yes, and this is the Lakers. This is prime time, baby. If he doesn't work out quick, they'll just get rid of him. But I kind of like the idea of going in a new direction, not getting a guy. Not that Terry Stotts and Kenny Atkinson are retreads, but getting a fresh, younger, up-and-comer, 48 years old. He bring a lot of energy. He's coached stars like Giannis before. I like this idea of hiring Darvin Ham. I think if it were up to me, I might pick him if I was Los Angeles. Kenny Atkinson, the other finalist here, who was with Brooklyn, really helped rebuild them after the whole Kevin Garnett, Paul Pierce trade just blew up in their face. That did not work out. Had to go through the rebuilding, got him into the playoffs before resigning in that 19-20 season where I think he got kind of a raw deal. That's when they had brought Kyrie Irving over. He got hurt. He wanted a different coach, wanted to bring Kevin Durant over and such. And I think that was a bit of a raw deal. At the same time, does he deserve this job? I don't know. I mean, this is the Lakers. This is the, arguably the biggest job in the sport up there with Boston. So you've got to keep that in mind. But we have finalists, and it's Terry Stotts, Darvin Ham, and Kenny Atkinson, the 3 finalists for Los Angeles. And according to reports, they're going to fly to Los Angeles and interview in person one final time. So pick a head coach. Who you got? Type TS for Terry Stotts, type DH for Darvin Ham, type KA for Kenny Atkinson. If you could pick anybody to lead the purple and gold, who would it be? And again, I might go with Darvin Ham. Let's get to Zach LaVine. Could he be the next superstar in Los Angeles? Well, LeVar Ball, who loves to have his name in the headlines. And, of course, Lonzo used to play for the Lakers. He told NBC Sports that LaVine is gone. He's leaving Chicago, where Lonzo plays now, and thinks he will line up with the Lakers. Now, here's Casey Johnson of NBC Sports in Chicago. He said this, quote, "His return to the Bulls no longer is considered a slam dunk it once was. Whether that stems from LaVine's own exit interview with local reporters in late April or a genuine belief that he will leave the franchise that can still pay him the most is unknown. What's certain is that league gossip throughout the week has linked LaVine to at least 4 teams: the Lakers, Trailblazers, Mavericks, Hawks, with almost certainly more to follow." LaVine is from Seattle, went to UCLA, so he's a West Coast guy. The ties make sense. And if the rumors are true that he doesn't want to play second fiddle or co-star to DeMar DeRozan, maybe he'll leave. Now, I would counter that with, if he joins Los Angeles, at best, he's going to be their number 2. LeBron James is there. Maybe he jumps over Anthony Davis, assuming you can get rid of Russell Westbrook's contract to make this all work. But you really think he's going to be the number 1 in LA? I don't know. We'll see. Maybe he just wants to get to the West Coast. We'll explore this a little bit more and a couple of other things in just a moment. But check out our sponsor, BetUS, the sportsbook for us here at Chat Sports. If you want to go bet on the conference finals, we got Game 2 of the Western Conference Finals tonight between the Mavericks and the Golden State Warriors. Chatsports.com/Lakers, promo code Lakers125. Our title odds are updated. Golden State even odds to win a championship. That's hard to believe one game into a conference finals series. Boston has risen to plus 185 after winning Game 2 to tie that series at 1. Dallas all the way at plus 900. We'll see if the Mavs can win tonight to improve those odds. Chatsports.com/Lakers, promo code Lakers125. Now here's Zach LaVine, what he said in April during his exit interviews. Quote, "I plan to enjoy free agency with what it is as a whole. I think you're going to have to experience A to Z without making any fast decisions. I think that's something that me and Rich got to go through and experience. I don't think I'm going to have to be in negotiations. They're going to have to talk to Rich. For me, I get to sit back and figure it out from that point." Now, Zach LaVine is a premier scorer. In 5 seasons with Chicago, or in Chicago for the past 5 seasons, over 24 points, and that number's gone up the last few years. He can dish a little bit. He can shoot the ball. We know he's a great finisher, an athletic freak at the basket as well. I like Zach LaVine a lot. He is a tremendous scorer, not the best defender, but he's okay on that side. I think LaVine would absolutely consider LA, and quite frankly, if they pitch to him, hey, you'll be LeBron's number 2 in a year or two when LeBron's, calling it quits or, starting to decline, this is your team. Pretty appealing if you can be the face of the Lakers in the next couple of years for Zach LaVine. Now, I think they made that pitch to Anthony Davis, and that hasn't actually exactly gone to plan. But at the same time, I do think it would be appealing for LaVine to get back to California, get on the West Coast. Chicago's cold. It's windy. These things matter for these athletes. They like the sunshine, and LA has that to offer at the end of the day. What's your level of interest, Laker fans, in Zach LaVine? Scale it from 1 to 10, 1 being not at all, 10 being very interested. I'd be interested. If you can dump Westbrook and get LaVine, I think a big 3 of a healthy LeBron, AD, and LaVine is a huge upgrade from what you had. I think if you can dump Westbrook, this would be a no-brainer. All right. If you love the Lakers, this is the channel for you. More subscribers equals more videos. Let's get to 45,000 subs ASAP on this channel, so go ahead and subscribe today. And when the Lakers hire a head coach, we'll let you know who it is as soon as possible. All right, real quick before we sign off, let's explore Taylor Horton-Tucker and Kendrick Nunn's trade values. Because, again, if you're going to go dig deep in free agency, make a big trade, you're going to have to clear out some contracts, and these are 2 guys that you can do it. Heavy.com, Sean Devaney spoke to some executives around the league. Here's what a Western Conference coach had to say about Horton-Tucker. I think with Taylor, obviously he did not get where everybody wanted him to be that quickly, but he's 21 years old. He's playing for the Lakers, and development is not the biggest thing there. Every season he has been in the league, there has been COVID in the bubble, and something that has gotten in the way of him making steps. But I think most of us will take him on our team in a minute. He's big at 6'4", he's long, he can handle the ball, he can initiate the offense. He will be a good defender even if he's not there yet. He has value. Now, THT, so far in his career, has been, an interesting piece at this point in time. Got more minutes this year, obviously, and did okay with it. He didn't take that leap. The efficiency certainly dipped when he got more opportunities. Now, Kendrick Nunn, according to an Eastern Conference executive, has value because quote, it's a no-lose contract. I don't know if I necessarily say it's no-lose. I mean, it's $5.3 million, which he says he's going to opt into. But that's not no money. I mean, that goes against the cap for teams. But I will say this. Kendrick Nunn and Talen Horton-Tucker are expendable. If they can be trade chips for this team, I think they will explore that because they want to get back into the playoffs and back to chasing a championship this upcoming season. Who's the better player? Like, who would you rather keep, for example? Type THT for Talen Horton-Tucker. Type KN for Kendrick Nunn. Get your votes in. The coaching search is heating up. We'll see you next time here on the Lakers Report.